up, and as soon as Facebook catch up, we're gonna hit the go button. Thank you so much for joining on today. Hello. Let me fix my camera here. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. If you are on here, please let me know where you are joining from. Let me see if I can get my comments up and working here. Let me turn off my do not disturb so that I do not get any calls while we are live. Yeah, let me know where you're joining from. Do I have my comments? Let me get my comments up and running here. Y'all, let me just tell you this. Okay, because I've been up super early this morning because I thought that I had somewhere to be at a certain time, and something said, look at the mail. Girl, go back and look at the mail. Went back, looked at the mail, and the place that I thought I had to be this morning was actually, it's next week. And so I got up, I got makeup on, I got fully dressed, which I get up and get dressed every morning anyway. But I did a little extra. Y'all know how it is, girls, when we do a little extra, when we know we got to be somewhere. Yeah, I did that. I did a little extra because I thought I had somewhere to be. And yeah, it's next week. I'm a week early. But let me know where you're joining from. We'll give things a few more minutes to catch up. I'm waiting on people to kind of log in. But as soon as the people start logging in, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll give it another few more seconds, and we'll go ahead on and get started. So for those who do not know who I am, my name is Dr. Tiffany Ross. I am a trained therapist. I'm also a relationship expert, and I own a business called Old to New Creations and Dr. Tiffany Ross Coaching and Consulting, where we specifically work with women who are healing and recovering from traumatic relationships. And so part of what we do every day here when I go live and I'm teaching on a particular topic is so that I'm providing that education to my community, because a lot of people don't know what trauma is. They don't know what traumatic relationships look like. They don't know what healthy relationships should look like, and they don't know what unhealthy relationships look like. So you will hear me talk about those things on repeat over and over, because my goal is to educate people on the right information about relationships and trauma. And so today, if you've been joining us for the past 3 days, I think it's been since last week, we left off talking about codependency, or we started out talking about codependency, and then we went into talking about interdependency. And no, today we're talking about interdependency. And yesterday, I'm getting my days mixed up. Friday, we left off talking about codependency and hyper independence in relationships. And so today we're going to be talking about interdependent and what that actually looks like inside of the relationship. And if you stay to the end, I'll give you some tips on how you can begin creating emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, how you begin to create that intimacy inside of your relationship. So make sure you stay to the end. I'm gonna get my words together here, get my mouth together. I've been up, I'm woke, like, cause I've been up, but my words not working today, so we're gonna have to get that together. Let me get me some water. Okay, so grab a pen so you can take some notes, and we'll get started. So exactly what does interdependent mean? What does interdependent mean? So Merriam-Webster defines interdependence as this: is to be dependent on one another, or to be dependent on another person, or to have mutual dependence inside of a relationship. So when we're talking about interdependent relationships, it's kind of hard to talk about interdependent if you're in a healthy relationship, because most are unhealthy relationships, because most unhealthy relationships are not interdependent. So now we're moving into talking about what exactly does a healthy relationship look like. And one facet of a healthy relationship, or one telltale sign that you may be in a good relationship or a healthy relationship, is that you guys are interdependent on one another. So what are some factors? Like, what are some features? Like, if I'm looking at my relationship, I don't know whether or not we're healthy. I don't know whether or not we just need a little tweaking, or this thing is toxic. Hopefully by now you know the difference between toxic and not toxic. Like, we started off talking about the more toxic stuff, the codependency, the hyper independence. Like, some of that's not toxic, some of it's just unhealthy. But we started off talking about that, so that when we got to the healthy stuff, you can kind of, be able to gauge where you are. So what are some key factors of interdependent couples? What does it look like if you're in a relationship and you guys are interdependent? So Psych Central says this: that a couple who is interdependent has clearly defined and respected boundaries between partners. Now, y'all know there's not going to be a time that I come on here and I don't mention boundaries. Very rarely do I come on here and I don't mention boundaries. That's because boundaries are so important in your relationship. And I'm talking about physical boundaries, time boundaries, financial boundaries, emotional boundaries, your personal boundaries. They're so important in a relationship. And for some reason, we think sometimes when we go into relationships, especially when we get into marriage and long-term relationships, that we shouldn't have boundaries. Where that lie came from? Somebody tagged the person that started the lie, because it's a whole lie. You should always have boundaries, or maintain boundaries inside of a relationship, because boundaries is how you maintain who you are. Is how you keep from mixing up who you are with another person. So in therapy, we talk a lot about, like, how do you maintain separateness and togetherness? Because it should be a good balance of the separateness, meaning the individuality, which is our next point on a factor in interdependent relationships. So it should be a boundary of maintaining your individuality, what you like to do, who you like to be around, your friends, your family, the things that you've been called to do, your career, your goals. All of that is individuality with the relationship, what the relationship is called to do, especially if you're in marriage. What is the marriage called to do as a unit? What are you two called to do as a unit? How much time are you spending together and nurturing your relationship? Like, that's how what we're talking about when we talk about individuality and separateness, or balancing the separateness with togetherness. So the next point is individuality. Individuality in thoughts, individuality in beliefs and pursuits. So it shouldn't be that, I have an idea, or these are my morals and these are my values coming into the relationship, but now I feel like I have to drop my morals and drop my values because I'm with someone else. If you have to do that, or if you feel the urge to do that, then as a relationship, you're no longer interdependent. You're becoming a more of an enmeshed couple, and you're starting to lose your voice. You're starting to lose who you are. And we should never lose who we are when we're in a relationship with someone else. And the minute you begin to lose who you are, the minute that you begin to lose your voice, you don't even know what you want. You don't even know who you are anymore. Then your relationship has ceased in being healthy, and it is now crossed into the unhealthy, more toxic patterns. So, and then the next point. Recognition of what it means to be a whole person and not just a couple. I need to repeat that one. Recognition of what it means to be a whole person and not just half a couple. So your identity is not based off of this relationship or this person, because nobody can complete you. Nobody can make you more valid or validate who you are. Another person doesn't do that. A relationship doesn't do that. Who does that is you. You do that. And if you have a relationship with God, then God does that. That's who validates who you are and what you are called to do. But another person does not do that. Being in a relationship does not define you. And if you feel like you're anything less than who you are as a woman or as a man, just because you're not in a relationship, it's a problem with that. Because you should be a whole person. Remember what I say, a relationship, a healthy relationship is 100% of you showing up with 100% of them. But in addition to that is 100% of a healthy, healed, whole you showing up with 100% of a healthy, healed, whole them. And then we can form an interdependent relationship. Then you guys can have an independent relationship and forming intimacy becomes amazing. That's number 2. No, that's number 3. Number 4, a continual effort to practice healthy communication and respect for one another. Communication is an ongoing process. It is an ongoing process. In the beginning, you guys may just be all googly eyed and, oh, they can say nothing wrong and they just look good. And I just love everything they so fun. In the beginning, it's going to be like that. But then you start realizing, okay, well, maybe they don't communicate as clear as as I need them to, or maybe you find that they may their communication style may be more nonverbal, and you got to figure out as a couple how you can I don't want to say bring out their nonverbal, or create a space where they're able to say what it is that's on their mind, and create a space where you're able to say what it is that's on your mind. So healthy communication takes practice. It takes practice and it takes skills, because some of us don't come here knowing how to communicate. Some of us didn't grow up in families that knew how to communicate. Or some of us grew up in families where, talking loud and talking over each other and not hearing one another's opinions and, perspectives. That it was a norm. It was communication. Or you grew up and you just automatically know to read the room, because when nobody gonna tell you nothing, you just better read the room, which is all that's nonverbal stuff. And you didn't learn how to communicate effectively. You didn't learn how to communicate in a healthy manner. So it takes practice. It takes skill. It takes you working with someone to help you build the skill. So I always suggest couples, even in the dating phase, especially if you know that this is a person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or could see that you want to spend the rest of your life with, go to therapy together. Go to counseling together. So you guys can kind of gauge that, because who want to waste their life and their time and their effort and their energy and their money and their resource? Who want to waste their time on people that's not going to be there for the long run? Like, who got time for that? I'm just saying, who got time for that? Who got time for that? Who got time for dating? Now, if you in your younger years, this may not be for you. But for us older ones, who got time to be wasting all that time talking about dating 5-6 years? First of all, if they don't know what they want after some months, and we grown, and you have made your intentions clear that you're not in this to be sleeping around, and you're not in this to be just gaining, communicating on the phone and hours of what's up and what you're doing. And if you done made your intentions clear that you actually want to be married and that you want to be in a long-term relationship, and they still, who want to stick around for that? Who got time? I just want to know. Who got time? And so you have to make sure, that's where boundaries come in. That's where boundaries and expectations come in, because you have to make your intention clear. Make your intention clear. You don't have to be forceful in doing that. You don't have to be, I feel like okay, let me get back to what I was saying. So a continual effort, a healthy communication, and respect for one another. So yes, I do suggest for couples who are dating to go to therapy together, figure out how to communicate better, figure out whether or not this is something you want to move forward and do, and so you're not wasting your time, because we don't have time to waste. We just don't have time. Respect for one another. If y'all don't have respect for one another, what you doing? Like, what you doing? That ain't even healthy. If you don't have a mutual respect for the person that you are with, then if you're dating, now is the time. Now is the time to go ahead on and say, I think we've come to the end of the road. But you gotta let go. Yeah, if you can't respect the person, you gotta let go. Okay, so y'all got. Okay, so the last one, according to Psych Central, is a sense of security in your ability to strengthen the relationship or work with one another to face the relationship challenges. So number one, because I want to break that down. That was a lot. A sense of security inside the relationship. Meaning you feel safe to say what you want, what you need, what's going on, how you feel. Like you feel safe to do that. That's a sense of security. Sense of security with a person, sense of security in the relationship means I can share my inner self, what's going on with me, what I want, what I need, what I desire, without any backlash or without feeling like you're gonna go tell your good girlfriend what I said, or you're gonna go mouth it to other people, and now it's all out in the community what's going on. So a sense of security. And then it's a sense of security in your ability to strengthen the relationship. So what are you doing in order to do that? What are you doing to build the relationship? What are you doing to strengthen your bond with the other person? And remember, you stay on towards the end. We'll talk a little bit about some tips that you can do, that you can begin implementing your relationship to strengthen that bond and strengthen that intimacy, begin building that intimacy. So, and then the last part of that is to work with each other to face the relationship challenges, because relationships will have challenge. We're talking about two people that grew up in maybe two different years and two different families and had two different experiences. Even if your experiences are similar, you guys weren't having the same experience because you are not the same people. So we're talking about two different temperaments, two different way of how to do life, and especially if you've been single for a while, you've kind of got your own system of how you do things, and they got their own system of how they do things. Well, I mean, that's just period. We do. Whether you're single or married, you just have your own system of how you do things. And so there will be challenges and that you have to actually face, but you have to be committed that we're going to face these challenges head on. We're not going to duck. We're not going to dodge. We're not, if we need to go invite somebody else, a third party in, we're going to go invite a third party in. We need to go sit down with the pastor and get some spiritual direction. Then we're going to sit down with the pastor and get some spiritual direction. Or if we need to just take some time away, separate from each other, then you take you a weekend and I take me a weekend away so that we can come back and reconnect. But there has to be a mutual understanding that we're going to come back, that we're going to connect, and that we're going to face the challenges together. Okay, and then let's go over some signs of a healthy relationship, because that's signs that you are in an interdependent relationship. But I want to go over some more signs that you are in a healthy relationship. And this one I wanted to take this one out of a book that I'm writing, that I'm writing, and I wanted to share with you just some signs that you are in a healthy relationship. We've already talked about mutual respect. We've already talked about balancing, like that sense of togetherness and separateness. But the next part of that is attraction. It's attraction. If you are not attracted to the person you're with, who said that you ain't got to be attracted to the person that you're with as long as they treat you right? Who said that? Who said that? You have to be attracted to the person that you are with. There has to be some level of attraction there. That's how, because we're getting ready to talk about intimacy. Intimacy doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to keep this rated PG for social media. But it doesn't mean that we're reproducing or doing what we need to do in order to reproduce children. That's not all of what intimacy entails. So you have to be attracted to the person that you're with, physically attracted, intellectually attracted, because sometimes people can say they can be gorgeous, drop dead, beautiful. I mean, handsome. But just say the craziest stuff will make the most awfulest decisions in their life. So there has to be some physical attraction and some intellectual attraction that goes along with that. And attraction is healthy. It should be healthy. Now, you shouldn't be basing your whole relationship off of attraction, but it has to be in there. You got to be attracted to the person that you're with. Okay, so we talked about healthy communication. We talked about boundaries. And here's another one that I wanted to say, because the rest of them I went over already with the healthy relationships and interdependence, is that you have to trust one another. You have to trust the person that you're with. You should be actively building a trust. If you are in a healthy relationship, or if you're in an interdependent relationship where you guys, well, healthy relationship, interdependent relationship, we can actually use those interchangeably. We can use them because they're one and the same. But there has to be some trust there, because you can't build intimacy without trust. You cannot build it. I just need somebody to type that. You cannot build intimacy without trust. And I know we live in a world that says, if I go sleep with this one, if we stay together for 5 years, and however that's intimacy, that we're intimate just because we're compatible in the bedroom. That's not intimacy. Intimacy involves trust. You cannot be in an intimate relationship with someone that you don't trust. If there's cheating in the relationship, the trust is broken. There's deception in the relationship, the trust is broken. And I don't care, you can't be intimate with somebody you don't trust. You can't be intimate with someone that you're not secure with, you don't feel safe with. There may be some passion there. So let's not get that confused with intimacy. There may be some passion there. You may have some physical attraction there, but there's no intimacy. The intimacy involves trust and safety. So how can you begin building that intimacy with your partner? Okay, Dr. Tiffany, so, I've kind of went through this. I've went through my own healing. He's gone through his own healing, or vice versa, depending on who you are that's watching. And I know that our relationship is healthy. It may need some work, like a few tweaks here and there. But in the gist of things, it's a healthy relationship. So how can you begin reinforcing the healthiness of the relationship? Or how can you maintain the healthiness of the relationship, or the safety in the relationship? Number one, first and foremost, point blank, period, poo, spend time together. Spend time together. Spend time outside of your family, outside of your friends, outside of the children. Spend time together. Make it a priority that you are regularly spending time together. Daily checking in with your partner. I mean, daily. Weekly date nights or monthly date nights, but spend time together. How you gonna be intimate with somebody you don't spend time with? Especially for women, because women are emotional. Women are emotional, and I'm saying this for myself. Women need to feel the emotional connectedness before the intimacy can form, and before we can do what it calls to do when you make children. We need the emotional connection. Yes, you can hop in there. Okay, not going there. I'm not going there. Spend time together often, regularly. Never stop learning your partner, because they're going to change. Our 11th anniversary is coming up on the 17th. I can almost guarantee you neither one of us are those people that took them pictures at that day on the 17th. We're not. We've changed. Life happens. Experiences happens. You grow, you mature, you achieve, you have disappointments, you go through things in life that different people come in your life and go out of your life that change you, and you change. And so you have to be committed to always be learning about the person that you're committing your life to. You always do. Like you always. Like, I might not have liked dreads in my hair 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Actually, when we got married, I wasn't even natural. But now I couldn't even see myself going back to having a perm in my head. People change. We change. What I like change. What you like will change. Fashion changes all the time. And if you like me, you kind of keep up with the fashion. At least I try to anyway. And so you change. What I liked 5 years ago, I may not even like today. Okay, number 3, understanding that that they will change. And you have to be committed to knowing the better version or the newer version of the person that you with. Number 5, where am I on? Number 4 and 5, celebrate everything. You have a built-in, or you should have a built-in person that celebrates every milestone with you, and that you can celebrate every milestone of theirs. Celebrate. Pick random things to celebrate. That's how you can keep some stuff spicy, boy. I mean, celebrate one another. Celebrate one another's accomplishments. Support one another's accomplishments. Support one another's endeavors. And I done said some of these, and not one time have I said anything about what we need to do in order to produce children, right? Because intimacy comes before that. If you have that before the intimacy, then you just have passion. But if you have the intimacy and the attraction, then what you need to do when you get to the bedroom becomes easy or better. I told you I was trying to keep it PG. Okay, and then the last one, maintain proper boundaries with family, friends, children, your career, and anything else that is attached to your name, any other responsibilities that you have. You maintain proper boundaries with that so that you know that your partner is in the top priority for you. If you're married, the proper order is God, partner, husband, wife, children, and all the other responsibilities that come up under that. So maintain proper boundaries. Your spouse should be the most next to your relationship with the Lord, or however you prioritize your spiritual life. It should be the most important. It should be the most important. It should be no reason why you don't pick up the phone and be like, oh, I just get back to them whenever. Like, no. Maintain proper boundaries. Your mama shouldn't come before your husband or your wife. It just shouldn't happen. It just should not happen. Now, if you're dating, you do not put your partner in the place of the husband role, because he ain't a husband, he's a partner. Or if it's a wife or your girlfriend, should not be in the place. I don't care how much you say, oh, that's my wifey or that's husband. I don't care how much you say. If legally, I don't have my marriage license in here. If legally, you guys have not made a legal commitment before God, a covenant, then he ain't husband. You just giving him the title, and you just doing stuff that you don't need to be doing as a wifey or as a husband. Nope. Maintain proper boundaries. We don't assign wifey and husband stuff to people who are not husband and wifey legally. I'm not finna break my back for you, and you have not earned that legally. I'm just saying. I just need to throw that in there. Because, we got all kind of ideas about relationships and marriage these days. And so you just have to be clear. You have to be clear for people. Okay. So that's all I have, guys, for today. is how to maintain or signs you are in an interdependent relationship, and tips on how you can create emotional or intimacy inside of your relationship. As always, I absolutely love interacting with you guys. If you have any questions, you can always message me. I do offer a free discovery calls for those who are just kind of, I don't, sitting on the sidelines. I don't think I'm in a healthy relationship, or I don't know. I just kind of need some further guidance. I do offer a free discovery call. If you are on Instagram, you will see that inside of my link of my profile. You will see the link inside of my profile. You can go there and request to you can actually schedule it right from there. If you're on Facebook, I can drop the link right inside the comments. It didn't work last time. I don't know what happened, so I'll just go back and post a link underneath there so that you guys can have it, where you can schedule a discovery call with me. And I do have a free guide for those who are just trying to decide what exactly a healthy relationship is and what it should look like. If I'm in an unhealthy relationship, I have a guide called 5 Myths for Difficult Relationships. So if you're in a relationship that's just kind of, not going so well, but you're not sure if it's just a rough patch or if this is something that really needs some further attention, then the 5 Myths for Difficult Relationship is the way to go for you. It is the best next step for you before scheduling a discovery call. But if you kind of know where you are, you know what you need, and you're just needing some extra help or some extra assistance of how to get to your next steps, or whether you want to work with me, then the discovery call is your next step. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys back here tomorrow, same time, 12:30. Talk to you later.